concealing my financial status from my relatives, and now I'm conflicted between my wish to accumulate funds for a high-end vehicle and the remorse of allowing my kin to remain in poverty. I am 34, the eldest among 5 siblings, and married with 1 child. My spouse and I maintain our money matters independently. She is aware that I possess some savings, but I doubt she comprehends the extent of what I've accumulated over time. My brothers and sisters, relatives by marriage, and parents are terrible at handling finances. They purchase a fresh automobile every few years that they can scarcely manage, expend cash on frivolous items and holidays. Lately, my sister informed me her vehicle payments are 3 months overdue, and she continues to take loans from my parents to cover them. My parents mentioned to me they've reached the limit on their credit card and are uncertain how to proceed. They didn't specify the sum. My in-laws stated funds are scarce and they're 4 months delinquent on their home loan. My brother claims he failed to repay a $4,000 debt that appeared to be an exploitative one. It disgusts me to consider, particularly when they share these matters with me, and I sense I ought to assist them since I have the means, but I fear being exploited. I also believe they've placed themselves in these predicaments. My parents own numerous recreational items, vessels, canoes, 2 recreational vehicles, and so on, which they could liquidate. My in-laws each operate very costly sport utility vehicles, including a recent BMW X5. My sister charged an entire international journey to a credit card. I observe them squandering money in stores. One owns 4 to 6 Stanley tumblers simply to coordinate with their clothing. In contrast, I have cleared all debts except the residence. I hold $82,000 in liquid assets and $250,000 in retirement funds. My earnings are quite substantial, and I suspect my family guesses that due to knowledge of my profession. I intended to persist in saving and acquire a Boxster with cash, naturally retaining some reserves, but my conscience urges me to aid relatives prior to obtaining the upscale automobile I've desired. I despise for my in-laws to forfeit their home and leave my nieces and nephews without shelter or in dire straits while I cruise in a fresh vehicle. Additionally, as unfortunate as it may seem, I don't wish for anyone to relocate and reside with us. Edit, I'm relieved to discover I'm not the villain in this. Judging them internally causes me to feel like a cad. Another edit, I suppose I recognized I griped more regarding their expenditures and omitted the additional circumstances occurring. They face problems such as a heating system that malfunctioned and operates at only 30% efficiency, resulting in their home becoming extremely chilly in winter, to the point they draped blankets all over and relocated the children to the lower level. My nieces and nephews have health concerns that remain unaddressed. They forego extracurricular programs because nobody can afford them. If my sister forfeits her car, she loses her means to reach employment since she opted to relocate to a large urban area where she has no acquaintances and faces a 45-minute drive to her job. If anything, the remorse primarily stems from failing to support my nieces and nephews and faulting their guardians. And I simply don't want individuals to end up without a home. Approximately 14 years back, I slept in my vehicle for a month amid winter with merely $100 in my account as I attempted to gather funds for a rental deposit. I earned only $8.75 per hour at that time. It was wretched, frigid, humiliating. I recall visiting a convenience store for warm meals because I grew weary of energy bars, loaves, and nut spread. These adolescents pelted my car with snowballs and frozen chunks, startling me awake once, then exclaimed, "Oh no, someone's resting in there," and uttered other remarks that turned my stomach. I realize I didn't provide excessive details, but I was somewhat astonished by the backlash concerning my own behavior. To respond to some inquiries or worries, yes, I have established a 529 plan for the child. They are 4 years old and well prepared, even should tuition costs keep escalating. The firm I was employed by covered 3 years of my education, and it provided immense assistance. It's not my funds, so I didn't include it. I possess $40,000 in non-liquid holdings. I earn $175,000 annually, which encompasses a $50,000 increase I received 3 years prior, and I never altered my expenditure patterns. It assisted me significantly in enhancing my reserves in both my pension and everyday life, and settling the truck. I owe under $190,000 on a $300,000 property. The Boxster is an aspiration once the child attends school, and I'm no longer dispersing $1,000 monthly for daycare. I don't intend to deplete all my savings on it, probably expend $40K, $50K. Some might suggest settling the mortgage or deem it foolish to purchase, but I'm an avid automobile aficionado, and it would be wonderful to possess. Also, it's not a Boxster. It's another model, but I concern someone might recognize because I've discussed it extensively. My wife and I have shared 10 years together. We've preserved financial independence. Both our parents have argued over finances or emphasized it greatly, so we adhere to separation. She transfers me half the home payment and bills via Venmo each month. I handle food and daycare entirely. It functions. We maintain a shared account into which we deposit funds for household child expenses that arise. I have an HSA I contribute to from extra payments and add to every salary. Every healthcare expense that has emerged, that account has managed. My employer matches a substantial portion as well. To conclude, I omitted this because I thought it irrelevant. The $82K is primarily my resources I could employ to support family, instead of squandering it on personal indulgences.